I had a knee replacement on my left knee. My right knee was starting to, I'm like, oh, it's just a matter of time before we have to replace this one. But I don't think that's going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because the pain is gone.
Hey, Shelli, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
So, can you tell us just a little bit about like your health and where you were before coming to QHS?
Uh, yeah. I have arthritis really bad. I have, I had a degenerated disc like around my thoracic T6, T5, T6 area. And I had to like really watch how I moved, if I bent over and stuff like that. And I had to lay down several times a day to stretch out my back because that disc was almost all gone. Well, uh, that has greatly improved. Like, I'm going to say 2 weeks in, I don't have any pain anymore in that area. I don't have to lie down. Now, I did have, and I guess it was when it was correcting itself, is from what I understand, because I have my device on me at all times. And coworker said, put it in another room for about 3 to 4 hours and then just let your body rest and like reset. Because I went one day was like, I couldn't hardly sit up like for an hour without having to lay down and stretch out. And I was like, man, what's going on here now? We're going a little bit backwards here, but I did that reset and I have been great ever since. Like more than great. Like just like blown away.
That's good to know. So, it's basically what I'm hearing you say is that you were getting better, but then it got really bad. And then you just took the device and put it in another room for a few hours, brought it back, and then you've been fine ever since. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
And like
What is,
I can actually stand for longer periods of time. And I used to, when I was younger, I would stand. I worked on concrete floors. Of course, I spent 20 plus years in radiology. I was radiology technologist, and been on my feet all day long. Sometimes double shifts, and it's so I was used to being up, but then I don't know, the last 2 years that disc I could tell. And I had a CT last January and I saw that disc and I've got a picture of it. So I cannot wait to go have a x-ray or a CT done and see what that sucker looks like because I want to compare it.
wow, that's so cool. So basically, so you've had less pain from the disc. Now you were pointing here. Was your pain in the front?
No, that's at the T5, T6 level is right at your shoulder blades.
But the pain was in your back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the arthritis, how's that going?
Oh man. So I was I have I have several types of arthritis, and from what I understand, that's got to do with my dad was in Vietnam and was heavily exposed to Agent Orange, and so I have. There was a specialist in St. Louis who diagnosed me with like 6 or 7 types of arthritis. I had never even heard of all these types of arthritis, and I'm in the medical field. And I was like, okay. So I do have rheumatoid, and I also have lupus, and I have the rheumatoid knots, the nodules, and 8 days. 8 days. Sorry.
Those are tears of joy, I take it.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's beautiful.
8 days. My feet. I had like nodules, like probably that big around on the insides of my big toe, and where it connects to your the part of the ball of your foot and stuff. And so I'm not going to use technical terms because there's a lot of people that don't understand them. But anyway, my right one, they were of the same size. And my right one is half the size of my left at 8 days.
Wow.
I've been taking pictures to document and everything. And so, yeah, that's making me happy now, let me tell you. My feet were never pretty, but they're even less, with the arthritic nodules. But, yeah.
Were they painful?
Oh, yes. They are very painful. Yeah. I've got them all over me. I have gotten them on the tendons. They will grow on your tendons, and I've got them all on the bottoms of my feet and stuff. And so those are going down, and I've been measuring them and taking pictures of them, and those are going down. And those were my podiatrist. She ordered me a specialty cream from medicine out of St. Louis, and it didn't work. And she said that she could surgically remove them, but 9 times out of 10 they'll just grow back. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that. So I just things are getting better, and I don't have any pain anymore. Used to, I would have pain. Like, the pain was just, some days it was just unbearable, and I have a very high pain tolerance. So that is, that's good and it's bad. And it's like, I have an unhealthy pain tolerance level, and I always have. But when the pain gets really bad for me, that's when if you see me wincing or limping, it's bad. But
how long have you had your device? How long have you had device total?
I am right at, I believe, a month of having it. If not, today may be 5 weeks. I'd have to log in to see, but I have been documenting and because I want to see the improvements, because not everybody's the same. But if you have similar, disease processes, I guess you'd say, you might be able to compare. But everybody's different, so but I tell you what, like I have I had a knee replacement on my left knee. My right knee was starting to, I'm like, oh, it's just a matter of time before we have to replace this one. But I don't think that's going to happen. I know it's not going to happen because the pain is gone. Like, it's less and less. And so, and this just goes from me being radiology, when I sat down and I put my legs out in front of me and put your feet up. Normally, if you don't have scoliosis or something like that, your feet will be at the same distance. Your legs are equal. Well, my right leg used to be shorter than my left leg, and it was due to the wear and tear on that joint and less cushion and cartilage there and everything.
On the knee joint?
Yeah. They are getting back to very close to being the same length.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's
that's amazing.
Yeah. So there's lots of ways that you can measure and just pay attention to your body, just to, if you have an ailment and stuff. I am anxious to see how my height has changed, because with that vertebra or that disc regenerating, that will make me taller. So that is something to think about whenever you get your device. And if you've noticed that you're shorter since high school, or you're shorter since, because it happens, And so, yeah, I'm anxious to remeasure myself, and I'm going to do that at, I think, the end of this week, because.
So why do we get shorter? Is it because the discs compress? I mean, with your background, do you know?
Yes. The disc will decompress, and just due to could be family disease processes, or just wear and tear on your body. If you're standing all the time, or, depends on what you're standing on. If it's a hardwood floors are easier on you than what a concrete is. But if you're walking on concrete, and that's, it's compressing more and more, because of the pressure being put on that.
Oh,
and
so
you're
let me
always taller in
visualize.
the morning.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Okay, so let me visualize this. So you have your discs in your back, and then you have that squishy stuff in between. Are you saying that, like, when you're young, it's thicker, and then with age, it gets thinner, and so that's why you shrink? But this device, you feel like, is helping it get thicker again, so it's kind of fountain of youthing our spine?
Right. That's exactly right. But it's your vertebral bodies, and then you have the disc space that's like the cushion in between. That is the disc. And actually, you can look on some x-rays, and you can see where the disc will, like, spill out over the sides of the vertebral bodies, and it gets compressed. And that's where mine was. Mine was almost gone on my left side of my spine, right there at that.
Oh, and that's why it was causing pain. But
yes.
You believe now it's puffed up again? Nice
I
medical
believe it
term.
has regenerated, yes. And I cannot wait. So I walked away from the medical field. I was told that I would have to, get the goodies. And I said, nope, not doing it. I'm not doing it. And so I walked away from a career that was my life. And I love helping people. I lived, and that's, I took a lot of pride and a lot of care and compassion of helping people, because you just never knew what you was going to get, you know, because I worked everything from MRI, CT, X-ray, OR, which is operating room, C-arm, and I mean, you just jumped in there and you did it all. I worked at a smaller hospital. I've worked at larger hospitals, but the smaller hospital, you kind of had to do multiple things. And, but it wasn't worth it. And so I knew that I knew it was a test. I knew. And so, yeah. And I am so thankful, so grateful to be part of this family, a part of this team, a part of being able to do God's work to help heal humanity and to restore people's health, which is, if you have your health, you have everything.
Yes. I was just going to say, because now you're helping people in a different way. And with QHS, what are you doing? What's your job for the team?
I am a support agent with Talk To, and then also with the QI, and eventually will be with the veterans. Veterans hold a special place in my heart. I work with veterans all the time. And so there is a veterans initiative, but I have been chosen to be part of a team to help with the QARC protocols. And that is like right up my alley. And I love that because I used to do radiation therapy planning with MRI and CT. I worked really close with radiation therapy patients.
That's awesome. So QARC protocols, what is that? I'm not familiar with that term.
Well, it's the QARC bed and just scanning. I've watched videos of what they have on the website, but I can't wait to get to go and see it and see how it functions, because I've never seen that before. And this is a whole new chapter. And this is so exciting. So exciting.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that brings me to my next question. We get a second chance. We get a do-over. And the fun thing is we get to take all that knowledge and wisdom that we've acquired these last few decades and apply that to a new life that essentially we get to create for ourselves. What are you going to do? What excites you about all this?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is put on my cowboy boots and I'm going to dance again. But I will, I'll continue doing what I've always done and volunteer at the VFW and work from.
Does that excite you?
Yeah. Sorry.
No need to apologize, my darling. These are beautiful tears. And you are beautiful. This is the most endearing part of our videos, because this is a real feeling of joy and of hope and excitement. So what is VFW, Shelli?
Veterans of Foreign Wars. My dad, he did 2 tours in Vietnam, and he was a Seabee, and he was Navy Seabee. So he, in fact, the runways that he built are still in use in Vietnam, and he said that he watched the jungle literally die around him. But the cool thing is that he fired up his dozer, put it in low gear, let it roll out the back of the plane, and he parachuted out after it.
Whoa.
That's how they got their equipment there.
Oh my gosh, they just dropped it from the airplane?
Yeah.
Wow. That's something.
And yeah, so he was Missouri, Southeast Missouri farm boy, you know, and he did 2 tours, and on the second tour, he fell into what they call a sweat box. It's in the ground, and how he managed to not get cut up by the spears and stuff that they had. So he was a POW, and luckily his comrades found him. Luckily, and they got him out.
Wow.
Yeah, and he thinks he was there for like around 10 to 12 days, and so he doesn't, like, you know, when you're over there, you're not eating right, you're not drinking, you're not hydrated, and then when you fall in that, you're really not doing nothing. So kind of the delirium kind of sets in, and it's hard to keep track, you know, and stuff. But he got that, brought him home, and he was his records, of course, back then records were all kept on paper. That was all they did, you know. And there was a fire at St. Louis that held his records, held a lot of people's records, and they were burned up in that fire. So he was never able to be recognized for anything, which is fine, because our little town at Chaffee just became a POW city, and so
was that to honor him?
And there's a lot of people, huh?
Was that to honor him?
It's to honor several people.
That's
sure
nice.
That's
very nice.
Purple Heart City also. We've got several Purple Heart in our VFW, and I was raised in that VFW. My dad was past commander, and at 15, we built a new building, and I did the dirt work on it at 15. I was raised on a farm, so I did the dirt work on that, and I helped build it, and I helped build the concrete that has the main flag out front. Me and my dad did that, and my twin sister, and my mom, my stepmom, and so yeah, we put the letters in the concrete, and we had cut it out in styrofoam blocks and glued it to the form, and then poured the concrete. Oh, but I'll never forget that.
Oh, that's so cool. Something to be proud of. So what are you going to do for you? Is there anything you personally want to do with this next life that you get to step into? I mean, it's like the sky is going to be the limit, and we get to do, you know, I don't know, some of us are going to do things a little bit differently so that we can kind of change the trajectory. Everybody has their own plans. Some are excited to travel, you know, now that they're able to move better and things like that. Is there anything else besides volunteering that you're going to do?
Yeah, I'll do a lot. I want to My husband and I have been talking about, we lost a baby, so I've never had children, and I have bonus children, but I don't have any of my own. And so we've been kind of kicking around that idea. Who knows?
That is so awesome. Oh, I had to tell my husband, well, I was going to ask him because I don't know if he's going to go to Utah with us, but I had to, I was going to ask him. I haven't done it yet, but like, they say that that's a possibility. You got to be careful. And I'm like, I'm just not sure. I've already had 3. So that is awesome. Yeah, because you're going to have a body of a 30-year-old. So why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So who knows?
I guess
God
God
knows
does.
what's in the plans, and it's whatever God gives us.
Oh, that is awesome. Because part of me goes, I'd kind of like to have a do-over with being a mom. I would be a lot more mellow nowadays than I was then. I had 3 boys in 3 years. Can you imagine? That was just crazy.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of fun to see that. So, well, you've heard about the woman who had her tubes tied and got pregnant with just the QT wave, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to interview her. Seriously.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. So how does all this make you feel? Like, are you ready to go to Utah tomorrow?
Oh, yes. I've been ready for a while. Like I've been ready for I don't know, probably a month. And I am ready to start. I am ready to start helping people get back their youthfulness. And I'm ready to, and I already feel the shift. I do. I feel the shift, and I feel, for the most part, all the love and everything with the 5D. We're probably 4D now, but I can't wait for all of it, because once we get up so high, the evil ones will be gone. So that, the people will either have to learn to love and be kind no matter what, or, you know, so that's the big thing to look forward, that I'm looking forward to. That is.
Yeah, ending the duality that we experience.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Having one foot in 3D and going back and forth is very challenging, dealing with people, and you just have to remember, where they're at, what they haven't opened their mind to,
Yes, somebody said to me, which helps a lot, is instead of looking at them in judgment, look at them in amusement. Like, I was having a problem with people wearing masks and their kids being in a mask. It just was bothering me so much. And now if I just kind of look at them with love and amusement, it helps, because I just more feel sorry for them that they're so living in fear. And
mm-hmm.
and then just like more like, well, gosh, isn't that interesting, instead of, getting upset by it. Because the moms would say, oh, it's no big deal, they're fine. And I'm just like, what do you mean they're fine? They're
Mm-hmm.
3 years old and they're wearing a mask. Really? Like, how's that fine?
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm trying to do personally, is just, oh, isn't that interesting? And just my heart. And I always try to send like a little bit of love to them, because, even Jesus said, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they have done. And
Right.
that's kind of that's how I can find some inner peace with it all until we get to the other side.
Right. Definitely.
Oh,
yeah. I remembered one thing.
what?
I was able to curl my hair today for the first time because I had frozen shoulders. both of my shoulders have been frozen, and I was able to curl my hair today for the first time in like
Wow.
a couple of years.
Wow. So you regained mobility in your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I used to have to wash my hair in the shower. I would have to do this, and it was bad. Like I couldn't, and now I can do this. I could not do that before. Could not.
Wow. How fun is that? And look at you getting all fancy for me today, curling your hair. I'm honored.
Yeah. I was
I didn't
like,
curl my
"Boy,
hair."
what a great day this is." Just, it's something new every day that I can do something more or something. And today was curling my hair. And I was able
Wow.
to use both arms, both hands.
Oh, I hope my husband's device comes because he shaves like this. And so that's really cool. I'm going to tell him that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Shelli, you are just such a delight. And I just thank you so much for sharing with me today. I so look forward to part 2, which is going to be after the Q arc.
Yes, thank you. I look forward to that too.
And we'll all be in Utah together.
Yes, can't wait.